All that I am, I offer at the altar of love. All that I am, I offer at the altar of love. In sweet surrender, in sweet surrender. And all that I am, I offer at the altar of love. All that I am, I offer at the altar of love. In sweet surrender, in sweet surrender. Let's sing together. All that I am, I offer at the altar of love. All that I am, I offer at the altar of love. In sweet surrender, in sweet surrender. One more time. And all that I am, I offer at the altar of love. All that I am, I offer at the altar of love. In sweet surrender, in sweet surrender, in sweet surrender, in sweet surrender. So I'd love us to just begin with 3 ohms. Let's just rub our palms together and bring them to the center of your chest. Close your eyes down. If you're sitting or standing, just straighten your spine as much as possible. And then bring the hands to the center of your chest. Close the eyes down. Focus at the third eye, the brow point. Inhale deeply, and we'll do 3 ohms together. Inhale deeply. Om. Take a deep breath in, hold the breath in. Center yourself. Connect yourself with your heart. Exhale, release. Keep your eyes closed. Just stay focused at the heart. This is where, in this yogic tradition, it's said that the goddess Lakshmi resides at your heart center. And just visualize the lotus blossoming right at the heart. And as this lotus blossoms open, visualize sitting inside the lotus is this beautiful goddess. And this beautiful goddess, often depicted, adorned in a pink kind of sari. It's like a Indian style clothing. But if you'd like, you could just give her a beautiful pink dress. A golden crown and jewels. She's the goddess of beauty. She's the goddess of the lotus flower. One of her many names is Padma or Kamala, which is the goddess of the lotus, representing she who blossoms our consciousness, blossoms into awakening. And so take this moment to just commune with your heart, with your own awakening process, your enlightening process that you've gone through your whole life. All the spiritual teachings, all the spiritual teachers that have ever supported you in your life. Try to just think of some and just be so grateful for them. And in this yoga tradition, in the Vedic tradition, Lakshmi is that emanation of the spiritual teachings. She is the abundance of spiritual teachings in our life. And then when you're ready, just take a moment of reverence. Maybe just bow your head slightly. Bring your hands to the third eye. And then release and relax. And if you'd like, you can stay just with the eyes closed, centered inward as we commune together, we talk and we share in satsang. So I think the most important thing that we talk about here with the goddess Lakshmi is gratitude, because that's where it all begins. Gratitude for what all has already been given to you. All the spiritual teachings, and of course she's also the goddess of all the material blessings. And so take a moment right now and think about all the material blessings in your life. We can start with our cell phones, right? Start with our computers. Here we are, we're watching this and experiencing these live stream teachings through this technology. It's a blessing, it's an incredible blessing, using technology to enrich our lives. We can give thanks for our homes, our cars, the clothing, the roads, the food. So all this is an emanation, and from this tradition, it's like an emanation of this incredible goddess, the goddess of all that is, Mother Nature. And in this case, she's depicted as this beautiful goddess, the most beautiful goddess, this goddess of all the abundance. So it's hard not to pick favorites, but for me, Lakshmi is what they call Ishta Devata. And that means the goddess or god that you primarily are most drawn to, most focused on, and most, connected to. And for me, it's always been, since I've learned about her, is this realization of, wow, to dive into what is called the bhakti, the devotion of the goddess Lakshmi, is to just come into more and more appreciation of all the abundance, of all the material abundance and all the spiritual abundance. And then what is considered really even more profound than that is prosperity. And this is an important word to look at, because prosperity is all-encompassing of your life, that brings so much joy, so much satisfaction, so much connection, so much meaning to your life. If you're prosperous, you feel so meaningful in life. Life has so much meaning. So let's start with what makes us feel prosperous. Well, let's just start with how we entered this planet and entered this human body. So we can start with our parents, and we can give thanks for our parents and for the gift of this life that we get to have in this body temple. And then our families that supported us on the journey. And then of course, friends and community. So all the friends, all the family, all this community, society is part of this grander prosperity, being prosperous in life. And we can attune to that place of so much gratitude for this opportunity to experiencing all these beautiful blessings, the family life, the friends, the community, society. All that is prosperity, right? That's the blessing of living. And Lakshmi, the goddess Lakshmi, is said to be just this all-encompassing, holding all of it, just holding all of the consciousness of prosperity. So as we dive into the devotion of Lakshmi, we start to expand how we're relating to consciousness and how we are relating to this concept of prosperity. And one of the reasons why she's depicted in a form such as here, right? We'll also have maybe some slides we can put up of the goddess, is the depiction gives that, for some, it gives that extra relatability. It's like we can create a focal point for our appreciation, our love, our gratitude, our devotion to all that is, all that we are experiencing in this life as prosperity. And then we can make offerings, right? So this is a very classic thing with an altar and with a goddess, and is that then you would make offerings to the goddess. And a lot of times it's food, it's water, it's like incense, flowers. And this is ultimately symbolic of your gesture of love and appreciation for life, all that is. That deep sense of appreciation for all that you've been given, all that you received, and all that is still coming your way. And as we dive deeper into the depths of devotion to the goddess Lakshmi, it just is ever expansive how much we can deepen in our appreciation, deepen in our love, deepen in connection with our hearts, because really this is where, again, the place of gratitude, of love, and appreciation really emanates from. And that's why Lakshmi is always placed right here. She's placed at the heart center. And from there, when we're in this place of so much radiance, of appreciation, of gratitude, of beauty, it just reflects into our own being, right? And so that's why she's also known as the goddess of health. She represents vitality, supreme vitality. And so when we give thanks for our bodies and our mental health and our emotional state and our nervous system, that we're in a place of deep relaxation and connection with spirit, that this is all an emanation of Lakshmi's grace, the radiance of Lakshmi's grace. Vibrant health. Not only the health of our bodies, the health of our ecosystem, the health of our communities and culture. And obviously there's always a refinement process, and that's why she's also this goddess of the lotus, which represents coming out of the muck and blossoming, right? And we all go through that process over and over and over again, into the muck and then coming out and blossoming, into the muck and blossoming. And this is all symbolic of our journey and how to deepen in our connection with the divine, and in this particular aspect that we consider as the goddess Lakshmi. So just take a deep breath right now. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Feel your body. Exhale. Breathe deeply into your heart. And exhale. Breathe deeply. And exhale. And just take a moment to take account of your life. All the abundance, all the prosperity, your health, your vibrancy, your radiance. And feel into the level of your gratitude and appreciation for it. Think about your relationships with your friends, your family, your beloved. What does this all mean for you? In the deeper reflection of consciousness, the deeper work that you have done on your personal journey. For Lakshmi is this inner and external reflection of your consciousness, the amount of which you have come to love yourself. And that love for yourself is then an emanation with your health. It's an emanation with your relationship with your partner, with your family, with your friends, with your community. And as you deepen in that love with yourself, another quality evolves. And this is another aspect of Lakshmi, which is nobility. She's royal. She is this royal emanation. She's this emanation of Shri. Shri is royal grandeur. But this is from the spiritual sense. From this place of deep self-love and compassion for all beings and for yourself. And from there, you come into this place of prosperity. You come into this place of abundance. You come into this holistic experience of abundance. And in that, holding all of that, you become noble. You don't have to try to be noble. You are noble. You have a royal emanation about you because you have so much love to give. You have so much spiritual awareness to offer, presence. And this is the more mature and spiritual emanation of nobility. Not based on just material prosperity or a certain amount of power and fame or blood lineages. We're talking about the deeper spiritual essence of nobility. And as we mature and as we deepen in our spiritual journey, we emanate and we grow into that noble being. That Shri quality. So Lakshmi represents all of this. That's why she is often depicted as Shri Lakshmi. And in a lot of the Indian yogic Vedic tradition, They'll put Shri before a name, kind of like an honorific Shri. And that Shri depicts that this being is an emanation of nobility and is an emanation of ultimately Lakshmi, because they are offering so much abundance. And of course, in this context, it's typically spiritual abundance. Lakshmi is said to be the fountain, so she's often depicted like this, right? She's Abhaya Mudra is the right hand saying, no worries. Don't worry. Everything is going to be okay. Don't worry. I got you. I'm the Divine Mother. I got you. I've had you for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. I got you. Trust in my flow of abundance. Trust in my flow of spiritual teachings for you. Trust in your eternal nature. And then, left hand, flowing, typically depicting with coins, right, for material abundance. But this ongoing, ever-flowing spiritual abundance and material abundance, always here. And often the other two hands holding lotus flowers, saying, hey, we're on this journey together of awakening. We're going to blossom together. And so as you hold more and more Lakshmi consciousness into your life, if you so choose, you can bring in this material form to worship. And the reason being is, for some, like I said, it helps to open the heart and have the mind to have a focus of where to emanate that devotion. Even though Lakshmi ultimately represents all the things that I've been talking about and then so much more. But it does help for the mind, for many people, to have that focal point of what the goddess is and what she represents in this form of beauty, of this form of ever-flowing radiance and abundance and awakening. So in this tradition, there's typically the physical form is considered the most gross form, and then you have a yantra, a geometric figure for each deity. And in this case, I have the Shri Yantra behind it. So again, we talked about Shri being this aspect of nobility, the quality, the radiance of the goddess. And the Shri Yantra, so this is the yantra for the goddess Lakshmi, and it's an emanation of balance. You see the triangles, some facing down, some facing up, and it all represents this balance of masculine and feminine, balance of all the polarities of the universe in a geometric shape. And this is obviously 2D, and it can go 3D, it can go 4D, it can go 5D, it can go on and on, right? The concept is that the more you meditate on the yantra, the more it expands in your consciousness, and the more it permeates into your being. And then it transforms your consciousness. And you're aligning with that, all those qualities of Lakshmi. And then even the more subtle than the yantra is the mantra. And mantra is the great science of sound and sound formulations to direct the mind towards a certain frequency of consciousness and awakening. And so, as many of you have done before, maybe it's some kirtan or bhajans, or reciting just mantra as japa, as just recitation. This practice brings you deeper and deeper into the frequency of all that Lakshmi represents. And so maybe if you're a little turned off by a physical, like a deity, or even the yantras, like, I don't know about all that. But I like the mantra stuff. I like the vibration. I just like hearing it. I just like hearing the sound, and it feels so good, right? And at a very, surface level, just feeling good, wonderful, right? And then maybe you feel so enticed to go deeper into why that frequency feels so good. And maybe you got inspired to this talk, right? And now you're getting more context and background of why that mantra might feel so good for you. And so what we'll do now is we'll start going into a meditation with mantra and mudra, and then we'll go into singing. And that singing will, of course, open up the heart more, but you'll hear more mantra, and you'll experience that frequency of mantra, specifically for Lakshmi. So I think without further ado, let's come into a meditation specifically for her. So again, if you haven't, just come sitting up straight. If you're sitting, you can kind of cross your ankles if you're sitting in a chair, or if you would like, come sitting cross-legged, an easy pose. Perfect. And we have the mantra up on the slides. And we're going to do mantra with a mudra practice. And it's a mudra and a flow. So it's called vinyasa. Vinyasa is like this flow, right? And you'll start with the lotus mudra at your heart. Okay? So the thumbs and the pinkies are together, and then the other fingers are out. And you are going to have, well, keep your eyes open for now, but you'll have your eyes closed through this whole process. So we'll start with the first mantra, which is Shrim, a little bit of an extended version of Shri. So Shrim, yes, being the emanation like Shri, and an emanation specifically for the heart chakra, radiance, vibrancy, health, vitality, abundance, right? Klim, you'll bring your hands to the third eye in prayer mudra. Okay, Klim. Klim is said to be this all-attractive vibration frequency, specifically typically associated with the sustaining force of consciousness, such as what we'll follow through with Narayana or Krishna. Okay, and then come back to the heart. With the left hand comes in Gyan mudra at the heart, and the right hand comes in Gyan mudra out by the side. And then we chant the mantra Lakshmi. Okay, so it's not Lakshmi, it's more like lucky, Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the Lakshmi, yeah. Shrim, Klim, Lakshmi. Okay, now this one's a little trickier, so we have to differentiate because we haven't put it on the slides. You're going to put the hands back to the third eye, and then this mantra is Na, Ra, Ya, Na. So the two first A's are A, and then the last two A's are A. Na, Ra, Ya, Na. Okay, say that. Na, Ra, Ya, Na. Narayana. Okay, so this is often depicted as the counterpart to Lakshmi. It's a masculine counterpart. So Narayana or Vishnu are considered, right, the sustaining force of consciousness. So both Lakshmi and Narayana or Vishnu are considered the sustaining force of consciousness. They're sustaining all that is. All that is being sustained. All right? So masculine, feminine, and then Namaha. So we're here, and then we do Namaha. And Namaha means I bow, or I hold reverence to, okay? So this is called actually the Sri Yantra kriya, but it's a kind of a flowy meditation. But as I said, here's the Sri Yantra behind me, and so we're balancing the masculine and feminine polarities. We're balancing all the sustaining force of consciousness that's in our life, and we are calling in even more abundance, more prosperity into our life. So call it in. Be open to receive any and all blessings in your life. You know, spiritual blessings, material blessings, new friends, new, family members. Lakshmi is the goddess of fertility. So if you're in a place of wanting to bring in new life or new projects, this is it, Lakshmi. It's Lakshmi time. Really focus your heart and energy into it, right? Okay, so start here. Lotus mudra, Shrim. Hands to the third eye, Klim. Then Gyan mudra, left hand at the heart, right hand outside, Lakshmi. Hands to the third eye, Narayana. And then swoop down, Namaha. Okay, let's do it together. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Clearing the energy field. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Opening to all the abundance. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. 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 To your health. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. To prosperity of all kinds. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. 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 To your nobility. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. 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 To your awakening. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. And for all beings. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Last one. Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Hands at the heart. Prayer. May our consciousness continue to awaken to the Lakshmi essence of our being. May we have a grateful heart. May we have a loving heart. May we have a prosperous heart and mind. And may we continue on this path of awakening our consciousness to bring in more of the Lakshmi essence into our being and for all beings. And we close with saying Jai Lakshmi. It means praise or victory to the goddess Lakshmi and to our consciousness and the consciousness of all beings. And then let's sing. So you see, it's important to have a very comprehensive approach to spirituality, and the beauty of these Vedic yogic teachings is there's really been so much time for the development of consciousness in order to make a very comprehensive experience of how we relate to our consciousness and relate to consciousness internally and externally. So having the wisdom for the mind, the meditation for the mind and our energetics, and then the singing for just the blossoming up our hearts and really focusing the mind also towards that aspect of divinity. So here we go. This is a little bit longer prayer, so you'll just have to listen in for this first section, and then the second section we'll sing together, and we'll sing her what's considered her bija mantra, her seed mantra, or essence mantra, and that's Om Shri Maha Lakshmiye Namaha. So we know what Namaha means. Maha is probably the one we haven't done. Is Maha means the great or infinite. So Om Shri Maha Lakshmiye Namaha, and the Ye is just a phonetical thing with Sanskrit. So we're chanting here in Sanskrit. It's very ancient language that has origins in what we call India now, but is basically a timeless language of vibrational frequency for healing, for uplifting, for connection to all that is, the source. And then there's this devotional piece at the end there, Ma, 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 Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma. Ma, of course, is Divine Mother. So we're just opening up, and Devi means goddess. Devi, Om Ma, 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 Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma, okay? Okay. So let's do the other part to this chant. Do you have that, Kevin?
I have the long one.
Yeah, the long one. Put that up for now. So this is called the Lakshmi Ashtakam. There's 8 lines, 8 verses to Lakshmi. So different kind of qualities to her. So here we'll go through it. And you can just read along. And if you want, the last line could be pretty easy for you to sing too. Maha Lakshmi Namo Stute. Another salutations to you, or I bow to you, okay? Namaste stu Mahamaye Shripite Sura Pujite Shankachakra Gadaste Mahalakshmi Namostute Namaste Garudharudhe Kolasura Vayankari Sarva Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. So Kevin, you're going to have to go to the next slide. There we are. Okay, you'll have to follow along with us, Kevin. Let's do that again. Namaste Garudharudhe Kolasura Bhayankari Sarva Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Sarvagye Sarvavarade Sarvadushta Vayankari Sarvadukha Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantramurti Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Adiyantarahite Devi, Adiya Shakti Maheshwari, Yogaji Yoga Sambhute, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Stula Sukshma Maharadre, Mahashakti Mahodari, Mahapapa Hare Devi, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Padmasanastite Devi, Parabrahma Swarupini, Parameshi Jaganmatar, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Swatambara Dhare Devi, Ananalankara Bhushite, Jagatstite Jaganmatar, Mahalakshmi Namostute, 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 Namostute. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, 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 Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Ooh, hey, yeah. Oh, ma, ma, ma. Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma, 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 ma. Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma, 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 ma. Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma, 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 ma. Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Sing with us. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Ma, ma, ma. Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma, 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 ma. Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma, 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 ma. Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma, 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 ma. Shri Lakshmi Devi Ma. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Just breathe, breathe in this life, breathe in this love, breathe into your hearts. Just breathe, breathe. life. Breathe in His love. Breathe into your hearts and just breathe. Breathe in His life. Breathe in His love. Breathe into your hearts and just breathe. Breathe in His life. Breathe in His love. Breathe into your hearts. Pranapana Shushmanari Hari 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 Hari. 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 Yes, we purify this body. Yes, we purify this mind. Yes, we purify the way we relate to the divine. Harmonize with the wise who tell us to align with these cosmic cycles and this cosmic design. Listen up, everybody. Lift up those spirits high. You gotta lift it up if you're gonna rise high. Every day is a new day that we can serve Her Majesty. And so breathe. Breathe in His life. Breathe in His love. Breathe into your hearts and just breathe. Breathe in His life. Breathe in His love. Breathe into your hearts and just breathe. Breathe in His life. Breathe in His love. Breathe into your hearts and just breathe. Breathe in His life. Breathe in His love. Breathe into your hearts. Breathe. Yes. Thank you.